Welcome, friends, to Design Bay Area podcast, hosted and produced by CL Media, where consciousness meets creativity and stories come to life. Let's get to it.
Hi, we're here live at San Francisco Design Week 2025. I'm Dawn Zadanis. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Design Bay Area, and we produce San Francisco Design Week. And today, I'm very lucky to be sitting here with Natalia from Pact Studio.
Hi, everyone.
Pact is our amazing partner for the brand theme for San Francisco Design Week the past few years. And this year, you guys came up with Reform.
Yeah, it's been really amazing to be working with Design Bay Area and working on SF Design Week for the last, this is year 3 for us. I think what we really enjoy about this is being able to tap into important topics that generate conversation in the community. I think it's an amazing opportunity to be able to do something that's community-based, grassroots. Everybody is coming together from all realms of design and create a platform for a meaningful conversation. I think 2 years ago we did Plot Twist.
I remember that. Times were hard. People were getting laid off. We were just coming out of the pandemic.
Yeah, and that was super interesting because we wanted to come up with something. I mean, we had long chats about this. Wanted to come up with something that's both authentic and stimulates conversation that's like real, but also it's not overtly optimistic or overtly negative. I think something that can generate both, kind of sides of the coin, like conversation about both sides of the coin. I think attention has some similarities in a way too, which was last year. I think the attention economy, attention spans, and paying, attention to detail, different ways at it. It just creates cool platform to generate different themes and different ways at it from very broad perspectives.
And that actually came to mind earlier today during a talk because, there's so much fighting for our attention. It still feels very relevant today.
For sure.
How do you focus? How do you sort of make space for, really being able to accomplish something?
Yeah, and it felt like a cool, meaty, platform to have these talks and conversations. And Reform was interesting because we actually started to have a nugget of this idea a little way back. And we, when we decided that this could be the theme to move forward with this year, I think what we really enjoyed is that it has a potential. I mean, Reform can be a lot of different things. Technically, it's affiliated normally with a good intention, but there also can be a lot of two sides of it, can be two sides of a coin. And just having a deep conversation about something that is, intended perhaps to do good, but does it? And when is the right time to do it? How do we stay informed and get informed about the topic we're trying to reform or address? How do we deal with the past? How do we predict the future? I mean, there's just so many aspects of it. And it felt very also appropriate for a design community, since I feel like design can be so many different things, from being very form-oriented to very function-oriented to very visionary to very practical to almost engineering. There's so many aspects of it. But at the end of the day, we're thinking about the future and how the future will be affected, and we have the potential to steer the outcomes with intentional design, which is what this topic.
Right. I think conscious, is what the word that really struck me, because it's about being present, being very focused on what we're trying to accomplish. But I also think that basically honoring the foundation, right? We're not trying to get rid of what's come before us. It's honoring the foundation, but being just very realistic about which direction we should go, right? And so we've talked in our conversations, with a glass of wine on the deck, we've talked about, waste, being intentional with design and how we can not just be putting things out there in the world to make sure that they have a use or are able to turn into something else.
Yeah.
So I think you were thinking a little bit about that too.
Yeah, and I think there's so many facets to it, which keeps this topic so interesting to us, and I think it has been amazing to see a lot of people pick it up in their themes. I feel like maybe even more than ever before on the themes that we have had a chance to work on, which feels like it gets people engaged. And there's a lot to discuss here. I do think there's this idea of like, how do we like, we've made things will keep on changing. How do we play a role and make the best outcomes for the largest number of people? How do we, how do we fight against unforeseen circumstances or educate ourselves best to do that? How do we like not completely scrap that? Like we learn so much from the past, but then when do we just like put band-aids on a thing that's not working?
When is it time to rebuild it or rethink it completely?
Yeah, and like bring fresh, when are we like bogged down by conventional thinking that was laid out upon us and we just need to step away and think a little bit more broadly? I mean, with like industrial design and materiality and like being more or climate friendly and sustainable, there's so many ways of like reforming materials, of reforming perception, reshaping the way we think about the way we communicate in a world with media. And designers play a role, a major role in all of this. So I feel like this is where this topic kind of keeps on giving.
Right. Well, I think it's very exciting for me. I mean, I had a very proud moment last night. The influence that Pact Studio, because of the thoughtfulness that you put into all of this, and you looked at every aspect. There was a panel at Rivian where designers were talking about reform and how to be very clear, like not to be putting that excess in there and being conscious of the climate and all of that. And they were referring back to this theme specifically. So the impact that your studio and studios and designers can have, I think is really important and a gift. So thank you.
It's our pleasure. I mean, it's been absolutely amazing. And I like mean it 100%. I think this is where, me and I think the people, I can maybe speak for the studio too. I feel like everybody fell in love with design because we all love it. Like we see potential in it. And I do think being able to contribute to the conversation. And I love this. I think I was chatting with someone, GP, and maybe a couple of people yesterday too at the kickoff party. And this thought came to mind too, is that with SF Design Week, especially, I think as this, brought together organization that is so vastly differentiated and so community driven, we have this opportunity to like shape something that's somewhere in between. Yes, it's a festival. There's some parties, there are conversations, but that thought, the conversation, and the fact that it's like a week of almost a thought intellectual salon, and a deep conversation about our roles, and also like a ton of inspiration about where we can take our careers. Like I feel like everybody at any stage of their design career can find something here for them. And yeah, we can all inspire ourselves and stay inspired, and also think about, like how do we proceed in a world?
Well, thank you for being such an inspiration, and I look forward to like having lots more of these conversations over the next few days. But thank you,
same.
Natalia.
Thank you.